We saw today that report by Mark Binskin into the drone strike that killed the Australian aid worker Zomi Frankum in Gaza, confirmed that the incident was, quote, a grave mistake. The IDF's own report concluded the same. What impact is this likely to have on Australia's relationship with Israel? I watched Penny Wong today very carefully. I still get a sense that, you know, Penny Wong is very much of the view that the Gazan conflict should stop immediately, regardless. She says she wants the hostages back, but seems to be sitting there with, you know, making arguments from both sides of the fence. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, look, Steve, I mean, this sort of price was factored in long ago. So the announcement today is significant. But there's a couple of things here. You know, one is that I think, you know, Penny Wong's not all alone in wanting the conflict in Gaza to cease. Most people who look at with concern at what could happen with Hezbollah and Lebanon think that cutting the Gaza conflict, getting some sort of ceasefire, is a way to flick a circuit breaker on that. I know that it's a more complex relationship, but people who say that, including the foreign minister herself, are not saying that Israel shouldn't deal with Hamas and neutralize the threat posed by Hamas, nor are they saying that Hamas should be allowed to remain in the Gaza Strip. The trouble is, and this goes back to what the IDF is admitting, this war has been dreadful for them. They're suffering trauma from the horrible Hamas terrorist attack of October 7th, but also discipline with soldiers and the way things are being played out on the ground in Gaza, which is partly the fault of political leadership, but also partly the fault of IDF itself, is not going well. They've diminished Hamas's ability to fire rockets. They've, you know, certainly killed a lot of Hamas fighters, but Hamas is by no means out of the game. You know, in particular, Yahya Sinwar, the military leader in Gaza, is still presumably in an underground tunnel somewhere. If they could kill him, that would give them a grounds for saying, we've, you know, mission accomplished. Perhaps that's the reason for going after an easy target like Ismail Haniyeh. But the reality is the war in Gaza hasn't gone well for the IDF. Of course, it's been a terrible human tragedy for everyone, particularly the people of Gaza. But this means that the IDF is not in a position where it can be confident about dealing with Hezbollah in Lebanon. It's really in a terrible state. It's also fatigued. I mean, people have been spending long tours of duty. There's been a lot of IDF fighters and others killed or wounded. It's a tough time, and the political situation makes everyone anxious and concerned. So, to say that there should be some way of finding a ceasefire is not to say that this problem is solved or that it shouldn't continue to be dealt with. But, you know, the current situation isn't working very well, and that's one reason for cautious optimism, by the way, about the hope that things don't escalate with Hezbollah. Because when you do the calculations, as surely the leaders of IDF and the intelligence agencies do, they know that this could end pretty horribly. It went badly wrong in 1982 when they laid siege to Beirut, and that gave rise to Hezbollah. They were fighting PLO at the time. It ended badly when they tried to defeat Hezbollah in 2006 in southern Lebanon, only for Hezbollah to survive and today to be much stronger than it was in 2006 because of Iranian support. So they understand full well that there's just no easy answers here.